welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa. So happy you stopped by, and I hope you're having a wonderful and creative day. And today I'm going to be working on making some journal cards that will specifically be able to go into this book. And hopefully you saw this recently. I made the book with the signatures, and there's some fun bright colors in here. And I thought, I don't have too many fun. I have a lot of the darker items. Move this back just a scooch. Darker items. But I wanted to make some fun stuff. So I mocked this up with my watercolor palettes, and it's basically just a stroke, and then I take one of my micron pens and did a kind of like faux wiggly stitch with some like knotting things on there. So cute, right? Just simple. You can put this into a journal as it is and use these as lines to write on, or add some focal points to it for that. But yeah, I thought that was kind of fun. So what I was thinking about doing, so this would go definitely in the book. Like, right, purples and pinks, beautiful. Be able to put as a journal card, tuck, whatever. So I figured what I'm going to do is find a page in here and make journal cards for them. So what I've taken is I have this watercolor book. I got this from Five Below, and it says it's 9 by 12, but by the time you pull it out and get rid of the what do you want to call those holes for the spiral, they're about 9 by 11 and a half. So what I've done is I've taken and cut it into 4 pieces. So the 11 and a half became 5 3/4, and the 9 became 4 and a half. So these are 5 3/4 by 4 and a half. So they're a nice size for a journal. We'll just start with the first one. And I think I saw a page back here I thought would be fun to do. This one. Doing some blues and some yellows I think would be fun to do. So I'm just going to put this aside as a reference in my mind, but I got to get it out of the way. And I've got like a flat brush. Oh, I need my paper. Got it like a flat brush. I have a cup of water to the side here, and my palette. Now I have this covered up because there's a beautiful glare in there from the O-ring, but I'm going to have to see what I can do to move it. So I'm going to get some colors here and make a little bit of a palette. And I'm going to add a little bit of water to that. And be able to use this to make some lines. And this is definitely a brighter color. But just simple lines, and let them dry. All right, so I got a blue. So now let's get a yellow. And I usually have my water brush, but the water brush is more round, so I don't have my water brush for this. Right. I did one when I was practicing where I put the colors a lot closer together and overlap some. But for this one, I think I'm going to keep them more apart like I did the other one. All right, so that is yellow and that is blue. So I think another separate blue would be kind of fun. There's a dark blue and a light blue. So I think let's go with a lighter blue. Ooh, that is definitely light blue. Almost seems like that color's run out already. I might have used it on something else. All right, let's pick another blue. And there's this like tealing one over here. Let's do that one. I'm hoping by doing this water palette over here, I'm kind of blocking the circle a little bit. I can't see it because my camera is above my head, but okay. All right, so there is the card, which is yellow and blue. Which yellow and blue should be fun to go on there. Like I said, I need to let that dry so I can add the micron pen to it. I'll put this to the side to dry. And let's find another page to do. I mean, you can do this with anything, really. Bright pink and blue. I think I'm going to have a lot of blue in this. Bright pink and green. How about we try that with a little bit of blue? Okay. All right. So, bright pink. This one looks like a nice fun. Whoa, that's a lot of water. Let's get some water out of there. You probably can't see, it's probably off camera, but I just loaded it with water. Okay, there we go. I don't know why I did that. Doing the brush should be just plenty. Okay. Let's do 2 of these. More of a corally pink. And yeah, that's definitely a little bit more bright pink. Ooh, yeah, that's a fun one. Let's do that one up here. And right here. Beautiful. I'm getting better at these, not going over more than once. That's where I was having a lot of problems when I was doing it, going stuff over more than once. All right, so green. And it's got to be like a lawny kind of green, so I think we'll do it this one. Oh, that's pretty. Shouldn't have put my finger where it was at, but I think we're good. So you could really, I was thinking about this, that you could definitely do, if you had a, do I have one here? Yeah, like say you want to put that onto a focal point and it's got the blues and the greens. You could pick those out to make a color, make a card to go with it. I've got, what else do I have in here? There we go. I have this flower. So if I wanted to make a journal card with this, and maybe I'll do this on the next one, I could pick out some of those colors and make a card that'll go with it. Okay, so I wanted to do greens and pinks. And I think maybe one more green. And, all right, let's go with this one. This one could be fun. All right. Beautiful. And we'll go with that. And I think I'm going to pull that first, or maybe that second pink one. All right, that was this one. Beautiful. Okay, and we'll let this one dry. Pretty. They don't take too long to dry, that's for sure. Okay, so like I said, if you've got a focal point and you want to make something with it, so we have like a dusty pink, and I should probably get my charts. I've got my charts that I made for it. So if I wanted to find out, like that would be probably saltwater taffy would be good. Or abandoned coral, saltwater taffy. So that is, this one is saltwater taffy. I can do that one. And we'll put that up here. And we'll do one of those. And then this looks almost more like aged mahogany. So aged mahogany is the third one. So that's this one. So we'll go with that. And I definitely think I want to do that in another spot. That's a pretty color. And we'll put it there. Okay, now we need a blue. Blue is on the other page. All right, this is more, I think, chipped sapphire, which is the second one. All right, that is this one. All right. Yeah, that's a pretty color. A little bit of prized ribbon here. Beautiful. And I don't want it to be too patriotic looking, so should we throw some green in there? And I do have that green right there. But I think I like this one. Let's go with that one. Of course, I don't remember what color that was, but I think it was this one. Actually, that was this one. That's okay. 2 shades of green are fine. And try to sneak in something in there. Another shade of blue. There's 2 blues in that flower, but that's okay. All right, so now when this dries, I will have a card that's going to go great with that. I love it. So we'll let that dry. Okay. All right, we got one more card left. And put that to the side so I don't forget. Put that to the side for now. Okay. I haven't really done much orange. I don't think I really want to put a card there. This is purples and pinks, and I do have that one card already. It's got purples and blues. There's one, orange and yellows. That could be fun. I haven't really done orange and yellows. Okay, let's do orange and yellows. And all right, so we're gonna get rid of the blues here. I hope it's not blinding you too much. Okay. Just dry that off a little bit. Okay, oranges and yellows. All right. I'm gonna get a new wipe. Whoops. All right. I think we're gonna try this yellow. Okay. Now I'm always starting at the bottom, but you know, you can start wherever you want. These are not perfectly straight by any means, but I'm trying my best to kind of keep them straight. Okay, now an orange. I don't actually really have too many oranges. Spice Marmalade Carved Pumpkin. All right, you are carved pumpkin. Let's do you. Let's do you. Okay. Carved pumpkin there. That's beautiful. And do some at the top there. All right, let's do like a darker orange. I got rusty hinge here. Beautiful. And what's interesting is when you do them, like if you add a little bit more water, like the rusty hinge is one color, but then it's another color. Okay, so we wanted orange and yellow. And we could probably do a bit of this right here. It's kind of a corally color. I don't mind that in there, okay? And go back to the yellow, put the yellow right here. And one more. All right, let's go with this pinkish one again. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, I think that would be fun. Buy this one. Right? Yeah. Okay. We're going to let that one dry. And we will do the stitching on them. So I think I'm going to pause a moment. I'm going to clean these up. And I'll show you how we did the stitching. Okay, so time for stitching. Now, if you want to ink the, or not ink the edges, round the edges or anything, I would do it before we stitched. And I think I'm going to see what the tiniest round will do. Yeah, it's just a little bit, knocks a little bit off. Doesn't really get rid of too much. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, so I have my micron. I've got, sorry, wrong side. It is the point, or it's the 0.5. So it's a tiny little thing for stitches. And I don't want to be careful of it. I want to be freehand. So I'm just going to do a line. Whoops. Do a line. And that's why I kept the paper underneath it, because it would go off. And do a line. And I'm fine going over the color and not. And once you're done, you can do a second one. You don't want to necessarily follow the line. You want to look like you've double stitched it. And then you're going to go in and do a little messy, like you got a little knot or something in there. And it's just really just a squiggle. And there you go. Cute, right? And so simple to make it look finished. All right, here is the second one. And I'm not sure, this was, it must have been, this here's a bigger one. This was a one I had laying around, it's smaller. Because I had an extra one. I'm like, how did I end up with 5 sheets when it's only 4? But that's why. All right, so. So simple to do and so effective. Now you want to make sure, like I said, oops, I'm off. I'm using the micron pen, and it's because it is waterproof. And not that I'm putting anything on here afterwards, but you want to just make sure that in case this was wet at all, still it would not come off. All right, and we're just gonna put a couple little stitches in there, because the sewing machine, you know what happens with that, it gets all jacked and get some knots in there. Too cute. All right, now this one, we're going to go the opposite way, push instead of pull. Sometimes you get a little bit freer there. And not even lift the hand. Boom. All right, let's go the opposite way. And then you know that hopefully you're not, and it's not like I'm trying to boy, that went definitely off. Not like I'm trying to make it wiggle, but it's very hard to copy the same line twice. I'll just tell you that. So we're going to put our knots in here. Fun, right? Very cool. Okay, last but not least, and I didn't round those two. This one is a little bit rougher than I would like. I think I'm going to round this one. Beautiful. Okay. All right, well, I hope you like this idea. If you've got watercolors, you probably could do the same thing if you don't have watercolors. If you've got a paintbrush and you've got your, stamps, your distress stamps, you could take them and squish them on one of the blocks, add a little bit of water to it like distress, and use your paintbrush with that. That would totally work. So if you've got, stamps laying around, you could try that. But it just makes a nice way to coordinate maybe a focal point or something you've got that you want to have. And plus, they just look nice by themselves, I think. Like I said, just be able to write on there without a problem. All right, let's throw some messy stitches in there. And this is not by any means necessary if you don't want to do that in there. I think it just adds a little bit of fun, especially when I'm adding it, if these are going into this book here as a journal card or a pocket or something. They're just fun, right? Okay. Well, that is going to be it for me today. Let me just bring those 4 out that I did these today. And like I said, they didn't take long. And I didn't really, the cleanup process, I didn't pause the camera for too long. These dried pretty fast. I'm probably going to still want to put them underneath. I can tell they're cold a little bit, so put them underneath the book so that they flatten a little bit better. But yeah, so there was my original one that I did. Very fun. I like them. I like them a lot. All right. That's going to be it for me today. I appreciate each and every one of you that stopped by. And as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye for now.